Baby Madison. Hope you're doing well today. In today's video, I'm going to be making one of my all-time favorite vegan meals, vegan fettuccine Alfredo topped with sliced portobello mushrooms. It's absolutely delicious, and on top of being delicious, it's very, very, very easy to make. I've got all my ingredients here. It may seem like a lot, but it's actually really easy and it's not that much overall. I've got my fettuccine. For the creaminess in the pasta sauce, we're going to be using cashews today, and soaked cashews, when they're blended, create a really delicious creamy sauce. If you've had cashew cream, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These beautiful portobello mushrooms, I mean, look at how big these are. These are so awesome. They're in season right now, so now's the time to get them. I've got a bunch of spices, some almond milk, apple cider vinegar, which is so yummy. And I've also got my Ninja, which we're gonna use to blend the sauce in the cashews today. So if you are interested in learning how to make vegan fettuccine Alfredo, please keep watching. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is get your portobello mushrooms ready for the marinade. The portobello mushrooms need to sit in the marinade for about like half an hour to an hour until they're ready to be put onto the skillet to cook. So what I like to do whenever I cook my portobello mushrooms, or in any recipe really, I like to take out the gills of the portobello mushrooms. You can see them right here, and I also take out the, I call it the stump. I don't know if that's the correct word, but you just gently kind of twist out the stump and it just pops right out like that. And then what you're gonna do is degill the portobello mushroom. You wanna work very gently to do this, otherwise you're gonna break your portobello mushroom caps like this. So just go slowly and gently. And so you're just gonna take a spoon and just kind of scrape it out just like that. It's really easy, and they come out really, really easy. I'll show you like this. Go in there. All right, so just like that, we're all done. To prepare the marinade, I use a Ziploc bag, one of those like gallon bags, and I prop it open like this. You can also use like a glass dish or something like that, but I find this works better because I like to shake the mushrooms in it. I have some oil here. This is just avocado oil. You can use any kind of oil you want, coconut oil, whatever. It's about a 1/4 cup. Maybe. Also, side note, I don't use measurements. I just kind of wing it. I think that's a really important way to cook. I think you need to be able to taste your food and decide what you want to put in there. So I don't use measurements. So next we're going to put in some fresh cracked pepper. I've got garlic powder that's going to be going in there. You can use fresh garlic also. That's really delicious. I don't have any right now, so we're going to be using that. Then we're going to be putting in onion powder. Next, I'm going to be using liquid aminos. You can also use tamari, soy sauce, any kind of like coconut aminos, anything like that. We're not going to put salt in here because there is a lot of salt content in this. So, and I used about 4 tablespoons of that, I would say, if you need a reference. Next, we're going to put some sweetener in there. This is raw agave nectar, and we're just going to put a little bit in there, not too much, just about that much. We're going to put some balsamic vinegar in there. This is going to really intensify the flavors and give it just a really like powerful kick almost. It's absolutely delicious. I promise it's going to be good. And the last ingredient, my secret ingredient, is liquid smoke. If you don't have this stuff as a vegan, I recommend it. It's absolutely delicious to add to your marinades or like roasted vegetables. It gives it a nice smoky flavor. Oh, it's so good. So very little on this, okay? You don't want to overdo it, otherwise the food's just gonna taste not good at all. So watch carefully. Ooh, just like that. That's good. That's all we need. All right, so we're gonna put our mushrooms in there, and we're just gonna pop them in the bag. And want them facing the same way. And then take out a little bit of that air. And then you're just gonna lay them on one side, kind of shake it around. Get all the ingredients well mixed in there, flip it over. And then what I do is I let it sit on each side for about 10 to 15 minutes at a time, and then once it's on that side for a little while, I flip it over, and let it sit for like another 10 to 15 minutes. Well, again, so the next step, we're going to be making our creamy Alfredo sauce, and we're going to be using soaked cashews. To make my soaked cashews, I just took boiling water and put it over about 1.5 cups of cashews and soaked them for about an hour. I know you hear that you have to soak them overnight or at least for like 8 hours, but if you boil the water first and put them over the cashews, you should be absolutely fine. They turn out fine, I promise. The very first thing you want to do to prepare your sauce is you want to take almond milk and apple cider vinegar and put them in the bottom of the blender. And what that's going to do is when you put the almond milk and the vinegar together is it's going to curdle and create like a buttermilk kind of situation. I don't know exactly what happens when you do this, but I promise you it's really good. It gives the almond milk a little bit more of a creamy taste. So just about that, maybe 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and some almond milk, and just let that sit for just a couple minutes. Next, you're gonna wanna add your soaked cashews. This is about 1.5 cups, and when it's soaked, it comes out to about 2.5 cups. All right, next we're going to add some onion powder, garlic powder, oops. And then next I'm gonna be putting in white pepper. You can use fresh cracked pepper, like black peppercorns, but I like to use white peppercorns because it keeps the sauce white instead of having little black flecks in it. So I don't know, just my preference. And I kind of like it a little spicy, so I'm gonna be putting in about maybe 1/2 teaspoon. That should be good. Maybe a little bit more. Give it a little bit more of a kick. Okay. And then we're gonna add nutritional yeast. You have to have nutritional yeast for this recipe, and if you're a vegan, you have to have nutritional yeast, like you just have to. And with the nutritional yeast, I'm gonna add about, if I had to tell you a measurement, I would say about 1/4 of a cup. Yeah, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. Again, I don't use measurements, but I always taste my food to see how it tastes, and if I need to add anything, give or take. I think that's really important with cooking. And also, I can't be bothered with memorizing all of the measurements of stuff. So, just some Himalayan salt in there. And then our last ingredient is gonna be lemon. The citrus from the lemon is really gonna add some delicious flavor to this sauce. It sounds kind of weird, you're like cream sauce, but lemon, promise, it's gonna be good. All right, so about half a lemon will do. All right, so the end result should look like this, and we're gonna start blending it. Now, I might need to add some more almond milk, but I'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but it's gonna look like this whenever you're finished. So let's get to blending. All right, so the sauce is ready. I did add some more almond milk because it was a little dry when I was mixing it, and I also added a little bit extra garlic powder and some white pepper just to give it some more extra flavor. And here's what the sauce looks like. The consistency should look just like this, just dripping right off of your spoon. See that? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so now that the sauce is ready, all we have to do now is boil our pasta. So I'm gonna be using this fettuccine, but you can use any kind of pasta you want at all. You can use noodles, penne, shells, whatever. So we're just gonna drop these in and get these bad boys cooked. Okay, so now we're going to cook our portobello mushrooms. In my cast iron, I have just a little bit of oil in the bottom, not too much. And I'm just gonna take out the portobello mushrooms, and I'm gonna put them right onto the skillet and let them sizzle. Look at that. Oh yeah. And they're not gonna fit, if your pan is too small, don't worry, they'll reduce in size and then they'll fit pretty nicely and cook evenly.